Greetings and welcome. This is my final week of giving thanks to my top 12 commenters on my channel. Thank you all for hanging in there for this series. This has been the most fun I've had doing videos. I hope you also have enjoyed. Again, I'd like to reiterate, if you're not in the 12, please do not take it personal. I've had a lot of great people who are a little newer to my channel, and I hope to make this a yearly segment, and I'm looking forward to highlighting those channels in the future. Also, I've mentioned that there's no order in how I'm highlighting these channels, but I did purposely group these three gentlemen together, and that's because out of the 12, they are the three that I have met in person. Now, using New England vernacular, the first channel I like to highlight today is best described as Wicked Good, and that is Picker Jim S. Sports Card Collector. And Wicked Good describes Jim's channel and Jim as a person. Everyone knows Jim, and in fact, when I first met Jim standing in line to get my pass at the National, the random people behind me were huge fans of Jim's channel and were wicked excited to see him. What I'm going to say about Jim isn't going to be a surprise to anyone. He's the nicest and most outgoing person on YouTube. I remember when I first started making comments on YouTube, and all I would see is Picker Jim S comments on every video that I saw. And I thought to myself, man, if this guy ever watches my videos, it's validation. And sure enough, Jim found my channel and would and does leave some of the nicest and in-depth comments on my channel, as he does for all of you as well. Normally I try to share something to honor the channels I'm thankful for. But with Jim, I want to share my Stan Musial rookie because Jim was with me along with Mark from Huck's Cards and helped me make a great deal on purchasing this. And if you follow my channel, I really like to have a memory or a story to go along with cards. And I won't retell the story. It's in my national recap if you want to go back and hear it. But when I see this card, I will always have the memory of my friendship with Jim to go along with it, which makes this card even more special to me. Jim was the only person on YouTube who asked for my phone number to make sure we would connect at the National. The common phrase you always see on YouTube is, looking forward to meeting you at the National. Jim is such an inclusive person, he goes out of his way to make sure it happens. And that genuine person who comments on so many videos that it seems humanly impossible is the person that you get in real life. There's a lot of clicks, there's a lot of egos on YouTube, and Jim stays above all that. And he treats the person with 5 subs the same as the person with thousands of subs. There's a few, but I don't think a lot of people can really say that besides Jim. Jim's channel is a must-watch because besides the amazing collection he's putting together, his videos are funny. When he does a contest, he's got an outside-the-box way of thinking, of doing something new. He's one of the more giving individuals as well. His channel just checks every box of what makes a card collector's videos great, and that is because Jim's channel is exactly who he is. Jim, thank you for all the support you've shown me. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your inclusiveness, not just for me, but for everyone in this hobby. I had the greatest time with you at the National, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing you again. And because Picker Jim S reached out to me to get my phone number so we could connect at the National, that led to Jim introducing me to this individual, and it is Mark Rudog21. Mark and I were not real familiar with each other before the National. We had both subscribed to each other, but that was about it. But over the course of 4 days we were together, we became close, and Mark became a friend and someone I'm extremely thankful for. I didn't walk the National floor with Mark, and I'm not sure why, because we ran into each other all the time. And it was funny because we spent a lot of time waiting for the National to officially open, but once it opened, we went our separate ways. But I'd always run into Mark, and each of us would be pretty excited to show the other what we had found or bought. Now, to honor Mark, I should have a Roberto Clemente. I mean, that's what we think of first when thinking Rude Dog 21, although Mark has an extensive collection that's much more than just Clemente. However, my best Clemente is still far from Mark's worst Clemente. So I wanted to share a card that Mark inspired me to buy, and I remember him telling me he was a fan of, and it's Bernard King's Rookie. Mark is probably the only one in the community that knows how much I can geek out over basketball. And once he brought up he was a fan of Bernard King, he listened to me go on and on about King and asking him questions about watching him play. I mentioned that his rookie was high on my want list, but I just hadn't found it yet. And Mark looked at me, he's like, "It's around, go get it." So it took me a while to find an example I wanted, and I feel like this is much better than a 6 because I've passed on a lot of higher grades that hasn't looked this good. But thanks, Mark, for the nudge to make me finally get the Bernard King Rookie. It doesn't take long after meeting Mark to realize how great of a person he is. He's the kind of guy that always asks you how you're doing. He's another that goes out of his way to make others feel included. I had only known him probably less than 45 minutes over the course of 2 days, and he offered to give me a ride to the YouTube meetup on Thursday at the National. Originally, we thought we were at the same hotel, but we learned we were at different Marriotts. But he still went out of his way to give me a ride to and from. And he even offered to do it again the following night. That's just the kind of guy Mark is. I know he's been on a little break from making videos, which, Mark, YouTube is a better place when you're making content. But I do completely understand how busy you are and how it's hard to consistently make videos. But even when he's crunched for time, a lot of the videos he does are VRs to support his friends. Mark, thank you for your generosity, your kindness, and your friendship. I really enjoyed spending time with you and getting to know you better. I very much look forward to seeing you again. The 12th and final channel that is entered to win $100 to the charity of their choice is one of my earliest subscribers. I may have only been in single digits when he subscribed to me, and that's Ken from Ken's Cardboard. I came across Ken's channel because someone was doing a VR for him that I followed, and so I just went and subscribed to him. Minutes after I subscribed, Ken subscribed to me and commented on my latest video that I had at the time saying, "I saw you subscribe to me and want to do the same thing for you." Ken has been the only person who's ever done that. And from that moment, I had an idea of what kind of person Ken was. And as I got more familiar with his channel and himself, that notion became a reality that Ken is a really great person. To honor Ken, I wanted to share my 1955 Topps Jackie Robinson. But Ken's Cardboard is anywhere from Boba Fett to Boba Shet. Ken pretty much has it all. He has a great modern collection, especially with Colorado Avalanche and Rockies cards, and the mentioned Boba Shet. I learned a lot from Ken on modern cards. He has put together a great collection of Pete Rose and Jackie Robinson cards as well. His channel is just very informative. His kind personality comes through with each video, and he does a great job sharing his collecting journey. He's truly an example of the phrase that your collection is an extension of who you are. I've always gotten the sense of who Ken is just based on the focus of his collection. I respect how Ken goes about collecting and how strong his focus is. But as much as I respect Ken's collecting habits, I respect Ken the person even more. Heading to the National, he was really kind to me, knowing that I didn't really know anyone who would be at the National meetup. So he made it very clear to me that I was welcome to hang out with him, which, as an introvert, I really appreciate. Ken always leaves a nice comment on my videos and always asks how I'm doing or hoping I had a good weekend or etc. I always enjoy the back and forth I have with Ken. And that's just how he is on all the comments that I've seen him post. He's genuine, he's kind, giving, The first time I met him, he handed me a stack of Cardinals cards within the first seconds after shaking his hand. I'm thankful I know Ken, and I'm thankful he still comments on my videos almost a year and a half later. It's always a pleasure to interact with him. Thank you, Ken, for all your support, the in-depth comments you've made on all my videos. Thank you for being an inspiration as a fellow collector and all the knowledge you've shared with me on modern cards. I truly appreciate everything, and I definitely hope we can meet again soon. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy your collection.